We met in 1997. I was doing a show opening up for Usher at a venue in Detroit called the Palladium. And he was at the venue selling his local Slim Shady EP cassette tape. And I did an acapella on stage. I was performing with this group called Wall Street. That was my group at the time. So I was performing on stage. I did this acapella. I got off stage, and he was talking to my manager. Well, my manager still to this day, Keno. He was talking to Keno. They were talking about something, and then Keno introduced us. So I already knew who he was because I had already seen him at the hip hop shop shredding people to bits. You know what I'm saying? So I just told him I was a fan. You know what I mean? Like he said some good words to me about a couple lines that I said in the freestyle in the acapella on stage, and we just started talking, and we just agreed that we need to get together at some point and start making some music with each other. And that's basically how the first Bad Meets Evil came about. We got in the studio probably a couple weeks later and recorded that before he signed with Dre. But it was like imagine being in the local hip hop scene, you know what I mean? Like somebody that's just going to the hip hop shop just as a rapper. And him and Mr. Porter, I mean, between Mr. Porter and Jay Dilla, it was like their production was like totally separate from all the other local producers. It was just something different about them, and they just, Mr. Porter and Marshall just had this dynamic, man. It was incredible. Other than that, when I started being around him, after he signed this deal with Dre, extremely confident, ready to go at all times, knowing what he wanted to say, knowing exactly what he wanted to do, and just having fun with it, man. And just being dope as shit. I had a falling out. Me and Marshall stopped talking. I get fuzzy with the dates, but we stopped talking for a long period of time. Yes, we stopped talking for a long period of time.
Right, because I think our first interview that I just talked about with you, you and Eminem weren't really talking back then. I think it was maybe this like 2009 or something like that.
Yeah, if it was 2009, yeah. If it was 2009, we probably hadn't spoke. We did have like a conversation one time, and then we went like a couple years until we spoke again. I can't remember exactly what those dates were, but there was a period of time where it was like his crew versus me.
Yeah.
And that's when it was like no communication, no way. I didn't even know how to get in contact with him at that time. And I wasn't trying to, you know what I mean? Like I was, I was busy being a bozo, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, 10th year anniversary for Proof, 20-year anniversary for Proof, 30-year, 1 year. I'm going to always feel the same way. I loved him. I love him. He was one of the first people in the local hip hop community that took a liking to me, because the first time that I went to the hip hop shop, I got gonged. The first time I rhymed at the hip hop shop, I wasn't able to flourish at the hip hop shop because I was a baby. I was looking at guys like Elzai, Proof, Marshall. They already had it mastered, punchlines. They knew exactly what to say that was suitable for the crowd. I went in there rhyming these big words, and DJ Head gonged me. I'll never forgive you for that, DJ Head, for gonging me. So I was able to flourish at the Ebony Showcase. That's where I started gaining all my confidence, and Proof was hosting there, and he just took a liking to me, man. He took a liking to me and was always giving me advice. He started coming to my crib, and we were able to build a great friendship, and he said the right words to me early on in my career, early on in my rapping. I didn't have a career yet, but he said some positive words to keep me going to where I wouldn't deviate from the plan and try to do something else. And I think he had that same effect on Marshall too. So, he's just a blessing. He's just one of those people that it's a blessing to know him. So I get sad every time I think about it, man. I don't like talking about this shit too much. But I mean, we love you, Proof. 10th year anniversary, and we just gonna keep his legacy going on.
When Eminem call you and tell you that he's working on an album, do you write different?
He never calls me and tells me when he's working on the album.
How do you know if you got songs with, music to murder by, do you just pop up and it's like, hey, I didn't want to tell you, but
he's a sneaky bastard.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Everything with Marshall is on a need to know basis. He does not He's very, I think he may be superstitious. I don't know. I don't know. But he never tells me, he never says, yo, I'm about to start an album.
Right.
He never does that. He never does that. He just goes in and I'm like, you doing another one? What's going on? You just did
When
one.
I got sober, when I decided to get sober, not to keep going super deep on you, but when I decided to get sober, he was like one of the first people I called because we were sitting in the studio one day, just having a conversation off topic, and he just came out of nowhere and was like, you know, if you ever feel like you got a problem, you can call me, right? And the shit kind of like it stuck with me, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know if he was like trying to subliminally tell me that he thought that I had a problem. I certainly felt like I was going out of my way to kind of make sure I wasn't like drinking around him a lot because I knew he was actively pursuing sobriety. So that kind of stuck with me. It was a couple comments my wife made that kind of stuck with me that kind of prompted my decision overall to just decide to stop. So he was one of the first. He was actually the first person that I called. And he told me, he said, listen, I want you to know something. I said, he said, this is the strongest that you've ever been. He said, you finally admitting that you're powerless over this. He said, what we do as addicts most of the time is we feel like it's a weakness by admitting that we can't stop on our own. He was like, but you finally admitting it and now you're strong. He said, come home. You know what I'm saying? And I've been talking to him about it ever since, and I ain't had a drink ever since. So it's like everything surrounding that is the most powerful thing you could ever do for a person. Help them get better.
In that time, what were Dre's studio sessions like? I remember you said you were recording at his house for The Chronic. Like, what was a Dre studio session at his house like at the time?
Well, there was a door that we went to. I believe we went down some stairs to get in the studio room. And it was just like a studio in a building. Like, whether it would have been in a house or in a building, it looked like we were in a huge studio in a building. It's like SSL board, a big SSL board. And after we had been coming back and recording there a couple of days, he actually showed us the house. So we went through another door and went up some stairs, and then now we're in his kitchen. And that was my first time being in the mansion, you know, so we looking around, he's showing us different rooms, and then we think that's the whole house, and then it's like, all right, now come down here, and then we go down another long hallway. Now we're on a whole nother side, and it's like, now he's showing us more rooms. And the whole time I just remember him going, now remember, money is easy to make, but it's hard to keep. Let me show you this room. Got this room over here, we got this good, but don't forget, money is easy to make, but it's hard to keep. Now, if you look to your left, you'll see.
So the line from To Pimp a Butterfly that Kendrick used with Dre saying that, he would literally say that to people he would bring into his house.
Yo, what's up? It's Dre. Remember the first time you came out to the house? You said you wanted a spot like mine. But remember, anybody can get it. The hard part is keeping it, motherfucker.
Yo, bro, then we were sitting down, and we're sitting like on these couches, and it's like a table right here, and M is like finally comfortable, right? And he's like, yeah, man, you know, cause I was thinking to myself something, and then something, and then Dre was like, yeah, cause I was thinking something. By the way, it's okay, you can put your feet on my table. Great times.
That's amazing.
Great time.
Return to Eminem. Everyone knows that, you know, he comes from battle rap. He supports it. You know, he's had his own battle hostings before in the past, you know, with DNA and Disaster and everyone on it. Do you see Eminem returning into the ring anytime soon?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a conversation with him in depth about his return. I mean, it just sounds so far-fetched to me, but you never know. I don't know. I never speak for Marshall. That's one thing I never do, because he's very spontaneous like I am. You know, so you never know, man. If he wakes up one day and decides he wants to do it, it's his platform. He can do it. Whoever it is is gonna lose. Nobody's gonna beat him. Like, I don't care what anybody has to say. It's just my personal opinion.